All right. We are here to talk about Zone 1 in Hyrox, which everybody knows is the Ski Erg.
Ski Erg.
Yep. So, I think by now most people are familiar with the Ski Erg. I work in a gym, and I get a lot of people who aren't involved in like Hyrox and CrossFit and stuff like that. So a lot of people still don't know what the Ski Erg is. I guess your average gym goer isn't really familiar with it. But most people, if you've done a Hyrox or you're looking to do a Hyrox, you probably know what a Ski Erg is. So anyway, yeah, it's Zone 1, and it's definitely different. If you aren't used to doing, I don't know, like an upper body cardio machine, then it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, and definitely take the time to focus on form and technique. I've worked with a lot of people practicing that, and one, it makes a drastic difference with your overall time, but you're just going to be so much more efficient. And of course, it's important to do it right. So that way, obviously, you're going to get the most out of it. But yeah, so what do you think about the Ski Erg for Zone 1?
So yeah, I am limited in how much I can use it when I just because of the gyms I have access to right now. But when I use it, form is everything because I am limited on time. I want to make sure that all of my time spent on it is with proper technique so that I'm being as efficient. I'm using as little energy as I have to still produce the best quality work and time on that zone or station that I can. For me, I'm not super powerful, so I have the damper set quite low. I think I'm usually at a 3. I know a lot of people are in that range as well. Seems to be a good range to be in. Damper settings vary from person to person depending on how big and strong, small, whatever, different size, different shapes, all that stuff, how big your engine is. But for me, smaller, don't have a ton of power, so I have the damper set pretty low. And I'm not a big fan. I don't enjoy the Ski Erg very much, but I know I need to do it to improve at it so I can improve at Hyrox, DECA, and any other events that include it. So I try and make it fun. I try and come up with creative workouts that will keep me entertained and keep my mind in it, but also be beneficial for races.
Yeah. So I'll share real quick a workout I did 2 days ago on the Ski Erg. And I wouldn't necessarily say you have to do this workout to prepare yourself for Hyrox. It will definitely help you get faster, but if you're just trying to like improve your Ski Erg overall or just get through the Hyrox event, then you wouldn't necessarily have to do this workout, but it's a great way to switch things up. And again, like I said, to get faster. So I started with, I had a 1 minute rest between each of these sets. I started with 1,500 meters, which is 500 meters more than you have to do in the event. So you're just pushing a little bit longer. And I chose a pace, which I know I can do, but it's definitely going to get my heart rate up, like a zone 4 type of thing. I'm definitely working, but not maxing out. So that was a 149 pace. Took my minute break, and then I did 1,000 meters and sped up my pace just a little bit, went down to a 147 pace. Took a minute break, then I did 750 meters, went down to a 145 pace. Took a minute break, 500 meters at 143 pace. Took a minute break, did 250 meters at 141. Took a minute break, and then I circled all the way back, went back to 1,500 meters at a 149 pace. A minute break, and then I finished with 1,000 meters at 147 pace. So that was really tiring. Like I said, that 1,500 meter pace is one I knew I could do because I've done that pace for a 5K or maybe a 148 or something. So I know I could definitely do it. It was going to get tiring. But circling back to the 1,500 and the 1,000 after doing those faster intervals with the shorter distances, that got really tough. But yeah, it was a good way to switch it up. It's going to help me get a little bit faster on the ski. And it just makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yep.
A big thing with Hyrox is you just need to build up like a really solid engine. And part of that is just putting in time, like doing a lot of meters, just a lot of meters. And going on the Ski Erg for a long time and logging meters is boring. Like you're just going up and down and up and down.
That's partly why I'm not a big fan of the Ski Erg myself.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it as like intervals and stuff like that. And honestly, I kind of enjoyed that workout the other day. It was really tough, but it was a fun way to switch it up. But I mean, I've done 30 minutes and 60 minutes on the ski, and it's just like, it's boring. So it's a good way to switch it up. You still need to do those longer workouts where you're just burning meters, going through it, keeping a steady pace. You still need to do that, but this is definitely a fun way to switch it up. And something a lot of people I know need to work on for the ski is strengthening the muscles that you're actually using on the Ski Erg. And that's going to be your core, your hips, your lats. Your triceps are definitely working a lot, but I think the main thing is strengthening the core and the lats. That's where you're getting the majority of your power. So one lady I've worked with, she does a lot of band pull downs, just keeping the arms straight, have the band attached to like a pull-up bar, and just do a lot of reps. And that's helped her a lot. It's gotten her lats just used to working more and engaging more, and of course, building up the strength and endurance with them. And then another exercise that's really good is toes to bar. If you actually do those, not like the CrossFit way, because that's a little too much momentum, but a little bit more isolated, you're going to build up a lot of core power, and then you're also using your lats a lot when you do toes to bar as well. So that's a good exercise. Weighted sit-ups are really good. Anything where you're using your core and your arms kind of pulling down at the same time like that. It's kind of mimicking the motion for the Ski Erg, and you can build up to some higher reps, build up strength and endurance that way. And then it's also just good to strengthen your hips. Kettlebell swings are great, squats, deadlifts, that type of thing. That's going to help build up a lot of power through the hips. So a lot of people kind of overlook that, and they just try and do more and more skiing to get better at the Ski Erg. But it's the same thing as running, right? Yes, you need to run a lot to get better at running, but you also need to do lunges and single leg step ups and hamstring curls with medicine balls and stuff like that. So you have to have a lot of variety, working on stability and strength and power. So yeah, definitely make that a huge part of your Ski Erg training.
Okay. And then, so between intervals, obviously it's good to do both like a longer duration workout on the Ski Erg and just for cardio in general, but to get to practice the actual movement, get very, very used to being on the machine, but then doing intervals or hit work on it, you're improving your fitness more so with that, and hopefully building a stronger engine so that you can hold higher average paces. But between the two, like if someone came to you right now and said, "Hey, I want to train for a Hyrox. I've never used a Ski Erg," and you were short on time, you could only choose one of the two, like a longer duration training on the Ski Erg or hit training on the Ski Erg. Which would you choose for them?
For Hyrox? Oh man, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
for Hyrox.
Honestly, probably the longer duration, because Hyrox is a very long event, and you just have to be able to keep going for a long amount of time, right? I don't know what the average finish time is for Hyrox, but it's definitely over an hour, way over an hour, probably closer to an hour and a half, maybe even more, something like that. That's a good question. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, so you just have to put in time. And I understand that gets boring, so another good way to mix it up besides that workout I said a minute ago would be just making a circuit, right? What else is in Hyrox? You have burpee broad jumps, you have wall balls, you have sled. So you can do 1,000 meters on the ski, do 25 wall balls, 30 meters of burpee broad jumps, 30 meters of farmer carry, circle back over to the Ski Erg and repeat through like that. I mean, the Ski Erg is going to get really tough because of, just fatigue from doing those other exercises, but that's the idea. You're going to wear out your arms, you're going to fatigue all your muscles, and then have to be able to work through that fatigue and the elevated heart rate on the Ski Erg. And if you intentionally try and keep it very controlled, still focus on form, try and really focus on your breathing, then when you get out there on race day, even though it's the very first thing, so you're not going to be fatigued going into it, you're going to be much better controlled. You're going to be able to focus and keep it really smooth. So definitely worth it to try circuits too.
Yep. Yeah, that's for sure. I agree. I think for someone just starting off in it, and if you had to choose between the two, I would also choose a longer period of time at a lower effort instead of just jumping straight into intervals for it. I can see rationale for both, but that's what I would do with a person new to the sport who didn't have a lot of time to prep. Okay, cool. That's great for station 1 for Hyrox. And that's going to be it for this video today. We are going to do a video on each station for Hyrox, so keep your eyes open for those in the future. About this zone, we would be happy to answer those. So throw a comment below, and we'll either answer it. We'll definitely answer you there, but we might also answer it in video form depending on what the question is.
All right. Awesome, guys. Well, have fun skiing. Go put in some meters and keep on working.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.